Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for Friday, October 6th, 2023. Yeah, I don't know. Never know what to talk about, but yeah, we'll get to stuff, whatever. But, well, I found this thing recently. We're thinking about different things, and I found this thing. It's this, like, TV guide for, like, children, basically. And I'm like, okay, it's whatever. TV guide, the guide to family viewing, right? Might just be the regular TV guide, actually, now that I read it. Now I'm looking at the cover. It's from 2000 and... I want to say 2002, but I don't know. I don't know what it was. Probably early 2000s sometime. I have to look. I don't know if there's a date on it. I hate when it does this. They go like August 27th to September 2nd. What? 2019. I'm guessing like 2001, 2002, maybe 3, maybe 4. Somewhere in the early 2000s. Probably before like 2005 or 6. Anyway. Oh, there you go. 2005. There you go. August 27th, 2005. Okay, cool. Ah, dang. Oh. And I found a page on the Smurfs, right? And I was just like, sorry, Smurfs. Right, I found the page on the Smurfs, and I was just like, the Smurfs. I don't know. I never loved the Smurfs. Now look, the Smurfs aren't terrible. Nothing wrong with the Smurfs. I have no problem with the Smurfs. It's just not something I watched. I tried watching it one time, like within the last like 10 years, and I was like, eh, it's okay. Like it's okay, but it's not very good. Or in my opinion, like I didn't take anything, like get anything from it. Now I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying like I didn't get anything from it. I was like, it is what it is, right? And to be fair, that could be why they're good because there's not much to them. You can make them whatever you want. It's like a very like open-ended. But I hated that. Also, the only thing I always associated Smurfs with was for the longest time I didn't know they were a TV show, and so I just knew them as the little like collectible characters, and I was just like, okay, no offense, but these things are stupid because I was like, because I hated action figures, okay, that did nothing, just nothing, right? And so when I went geocaching one time and I found a GI Joe, and I went, this is the best action figure ever. This is just hands down the best action figure ever. Nothing can beat it. I can see why someone like Pat Contry always talks about like GI Joe as being a perfect franchise of TV show is amazing, the toys were fantastic, all that stuff. It's great. And so yeah, I never liked it. And then there were things that I always wanted to like that I never got into. Like I like the concept of Tintin and I like the idea of Tintin. It's he's kind of that like Indiana Jones. Who else? Those like archaeologists, historian people, kind of whatever. I was like the concept of them. I just never liked it. I never got into it super well. I read the two moon landing ones, and I read um the two uh whatever it's called, unicorn one, right? Captain Haddock and Unicorn, whatever that one. I read them both, and I watched the movie when it came out, and I saw the episodes, those 3 or 4 episodes there were of them. Yeah, I mean, you know, and so, but that was kind of like it. I tried watching, and the watching wasn't that bad. I can watch a few of the other episodes. It's not that bad. It's the comics I just never got into. I never got into them. Never. For some reason, I never did. Don't ask me why. I could never get into them. I just think I don't know. Well, because that was one of those things where I always wanted like merchandise and toys and action figures for stuff like that, like Tintin, right? And for me, I mean, I found out like later, like oh yeah, you could have gotten them, but they were like rocket ships that were like ridiculously expensive, and like action figures, there was like one set for them or something, maybe two or something, for like the space mission, and that's it. And then I went to my local like toy. It's like it's weird because it's like a very novelty place. It's got like the generic stuff, but then it's got sections of like random things. Like there's a whole Tintin section, there's a whole Asterix and Obelix section, and there's a whole actually I was gonna say Smurfs, but I don't know. I don't think there are Smurfs there. There might be. I've never really like looked too hard at that, but yeah, definitely Asterix and Obelix and Tintin, and then Asterix and Obelix was the other one that like you could have liked. Like, and I don't think Asterix and Obelix is terrible. The problem is, it's I didn't get into that either because for some reason I just did not like it. I have like what, maybe three, maybe five Asterix and Obelix like comics, and I just don't care. But then again, I never was a comic book person. Never. I never liked comic books. I never liked. I mean, Calvin and Hobbes is the thing that grasped me. But even that, I read back and I go, eh. No, don't get me wrong. It's great. I'm just saying that, like, I read them back. I'm like, oh well, sure. I'll show my kids. They'll love it, but whatever. Maybe I'll show my kids, but I don't personally give a hoot. In the sense that, like, yeah, it's great, but I never have to read it again. It's like a lot of these movies or TV shows or video games or books or like that's one thing I just thought of right now. Like that's one thing where it's like we don't read books twice, do we? Not really. I mean, kind of. Some people do, but a lot of people just never read books twice. They don't care. They never read it because like, but they'll watch a movie like 1,000 times, or they'll. It's because of the like, what's it called? Not interacting, but like the way you ingest it, the way you take it in. It's a whole different thing. Like reading, it's a very mundane. It's also a very like one person thing. You can't like read a book with someone. I mean, you can, but that's like not really a thing people do. And you could probably listen to it as like an audiobook with people, but that's the thing. It's not particularly a thing we do. We don't really do that, and so it's kind of weird. But a movie you can enjoy and experience with someone. You can watch it with someone. You can stop. You can like analyze. You can talk about it. You can. The book's like, oh, whatever. I mean, yeah, book clubs exist, but no, I'm sorry. No offense. I was in a book club as a kid. God, it's okay. It's nothing great, but yeah. Anyway, it's okay. Book clubs are fine. They're not terrible. You learn about books you would never have read. Like none of the books in that book club I would have read my own. And I found a few. I found one series that I really liked and got out of it. My brother read it and it was amazing. It was The City of Ember. God, those were very good books. I like those books. Those are interesting idea books. Not the greatest to read again. 'Cause I'm like, I don't really care, but they're still pretty good. They hold up. They hold up. I'm surprised they didn't do Charlie Bone. Well, I said I'm surprised I didn't do Charlie Bone, but I never got Charlie Bone. I read Charlie Bone and just kind of started going, oh my god, it's just going on forever. Like I never liked Charlie Bone. Really, I like the like. Again, it was something I wanted to like, right? But when there was things like Harry Potter or things like I don't know other franchises that I could have either read or watched or video games I could have played, I didn't care for. I was like, eh, eh, you know, what I mean? It's like meh, eh, like meh, meh. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not. I'm just saying that like I don't care for it the same way some other people like my brother and my best friend did. He liked that a lot too. Yeah, but I don't know. In my opinion, this is my opinion, right? I thought it wasn't great because it just kept going on forever, and I'm like, oh. And it was kind of not repetitive, but it was kind of just like, okay, how much more can we like drain, suck, pull out of this franchise? My good giddy aunt, like seriously, no, I'm not even joking. Like, holy moly. I'm not saying it's bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. I'm just saying it's definitely one of the ones that I thought was like, oh my god, you're just going on forever. So yeah. But then again, it was another one of those ones that I wanted to like. I did. A lot of things that as a kid I kind of wanted to like, but I didn't really like them. I was like, oh, whatever. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, so, I mean, so yeah, there was those kind of things too, like, and then Garfield was another, like, comic book that I never really got into. I mean, I read them, and I liked them. Just think about Garfield, I think, to me, it was simplicity. Oh, I think, here's the thing, I think you had to have one of two things. You had to have this like incredible, amazing thing, which Calvin Hobbes had at certain points, where it's like highly crazy, like there's a lot going on here, or you had to have like minimalist, like you know what my favorite comic strips was? There was like a volume two. Now why they didn't a volume one, I don't know, because I don't think they did. They may have had it, but I just never took it out. I don't know. Don't ask me. Um, at my library as a kid, it was they compiled all the Spy versus Spy from Mad Magazine, and I was like, whew, right? I was like, that's a like. There was no dialogue. I could make it up as I went along. It was great stuff. I hated reading too, so like reading. So I would like look at the pictures and do whatever for certain things, and so that was great because I could like make it up as I go along. And for me, I like that because I could make it up, make it whatever I wanted it to be. I used to make it up, make it say stuff and do stuff, and I don't know. I like that a lot because I like the simplicity of just like it's a defined thing, but it's up for interpretation. And like you can make it whatever you want, kind of. You can change it slightly if you want. You know, imagination. You can use your imagination. Is all I'm saying. And so that was something I like. So it was either highly like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, like highly. There's a story to this, and it's a big and City of Ember, that kind of stuff, or nothing at all, and it's just the simplest thing, and you just Garfield, Spy versus Spy, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, the stuff in the middle where it was like, um, I didn't like. I don't know. I think the other problem with something like Tintin was there's just too many of them. Did not. I just did not care. I just did not give a hoot about them. I was like, oh my god. And I'm like, I don't care about this random one that has. I didn't get into it. I just didn't care. My best friend loved it as a kid. I think he read them all. It was crazy. And I was just like, eh. You know what I mean? Like, eh. Because again, I tried to like almost all of these things I'm describing right now. All of these franchises, I tried to think, and then years later I went back and I was like, are these as bad, or are these as like meh, whatever, boring, just kind of lackluster as I remember them? And they're not. They're just not my thing. Like I remember having a conversation with my friend, and we were talking about mangas and how manga was just like manga. There'll be mangas for you. Don't worry, whatever. And he stops and he goes, yeah, but if you're not a comic book guy, and I go, no, never. I've never read comic books in my life. So like superhero comic books, nothing. No, like I'm like never. I never got into those. Those I can tell you with like a fact right now. I never got into them, and I don't think I ever will. I might read the um um. I have a book of like 1945 or 1940 to 45 or something. Anyway, Batman. Might read that. That's a compilation. It's a trade paperback. I have the 40s, so the original like first decade of Superman. The 60s. Honestly, I don't know the 50s or the. Oh, sorry, 70s. I don't know the 50s or 60s yet. I might buy them. Don't think I will, but I might. And I have. I don't have. I have some of the like issues of Death of Superman, but I don't have them all. So I like asked on a Discord one time. I was like, well, what's the actual like whole arc of that? And he's like, oh, you start from this one and you read this one, this one, this one, this one. And he's like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay. So like I started reading that. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I might get the trade paperback like thick book to read it, and then that's like, but I'm never gonna really like get into it. But also, comic books are a stupid thing where they. I think I've talked about this one of the last episodes. There's way too many of them, and you don't know where to start. Like I think the last episode I talked about how like um loot crate type of box subscription box things would have just a random issue of a comic book, and you'd be like, no, this is stupid. I'm never going to get this because I'm never going to read it because I'm never going to understand what's supposed to come first, and I'm never going to find how to like continue this. So they started doing their own like one-off comic books in it, which made way more sense. But anyway, I might try and like look into see like the Transformers comics or the Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. Look, it's another franchise where I thought I would, or I tried to like. I didn't think. I tried to like, and then I just kind of like, it's okay. It's a cool idea. I saw the first movie in theaters, and I remember seeing it in theaters with my best friend, and we just kind of came out of it with like, yeah, it's a movie. It's good. Like it was fine. It's good. We weren't blown away, but we just were also like, sure, sure. We didn't think it was the best thing ever, but we also were not like this is terrible, you know, like a lot of people did coming out of that. Like they did. I think they did a little bit of a better job than the Transformers movies, but only by like a small smidgen. They're about the same level of like. I've only seen the first Transformers movie, and I've only seen the first Ninja Turtles movie. I didn't see the second one, and I didn't see the new one that came out like this summer, and so I don't know what that those other ones are, and I never saw any of the other Transformers, so don't ask me what any of those were. I just heard it. I heard it kind of went like this, okay? First one was fine, then it went like, oh wow, this is not good, and then the next are like, third bad, fourth bad, and then just like slowly crept this way into this like leveling off of like, oh, they're not getting worse, they're not particularly good, but they're not getting worse. Oh, my best friend. This is a different best friend than the one I went to see a Transformer, or not Transformers. Went to see Ninja Turtles movie, the Ninja Turtles movie, the recent one, 2015, whatever. Yeah, not the 90s one, the 50s. Anyway, 15. I think it's 15. Anyway, maybe it might have been 14. Anyway, whatever it was, 16, 15, 14, whatever. So my other best friend, he just loves Transformers with a passion. He just loved it so much. And look, I like no Transformers. That's an idea that I think is a cool one, and I liked the first season. I watched the entire first season. I even pointed out freaking oh, one of the episodes on the disc. One of the episodes had a printable script, and I was reading through it. Oh man, if I can find that again, I would love to keep reading it because it's actually really good. I like that. Anyway, but yeah, I like the first season of original Transformers. Like, yeah, sure, that's fine. That's good. But I never got into like the whole thing of Transformers, right? The toys and this. I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't give a hoot. Like I've said before, I don't know if I've said it here. I'm pretty sure I said them here, right? But I'm not 100% sure. I may have said it on stream, but anyway, I got into a lot of things because other people liked them. My brother, my best friends, family, those kind of people. And I'd be like, I almost do it in this like a parent, when a parent, okay, gets into something or like does something with their child, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's I'm gonna do something with my child. I don't particularly care, but my child is engulfed in like deeply into this thing. Like they just poof boom into it, right? And you just do it because you're the parent, you're the mother or the father or whatever. You're the parent, right? And so that's kind of what I did with a lot of us. Like, oh yeah, my best friend loves it, so I'll just get into it, whatever. There was a book I remember taking out at the. This is not a local library. This is a library near my mother's work. It's like 10 years ago, maybe even longer, maybe 12 years ago, and 13 years ago or something. Anyway, and it was a book on like I think. Oh, I remember taking out two books actually. I remember taking out a book on like I think it was either bad villains or not bad villains or villains of DC or something or superheroes of DC maybe. Anyway, something like that. That was a fine one. My dad looked into it and knew a few of them, the weird obscure ones. It wasn't that. It was a book on like I think it was merchandise of Batman, like just Batman merchandise. And so it would show like weird issues, like different weird issues and like special issues and stuff, and like different toys and different this and different. I mean, that was cool. Those are the kind of things I like. I like those kind of catalog-y type of books. Like some of my favorite stuff are like when Lego takes a franchise and goes, "Here you go. Here's like everything that's ever come out from it. It's great up until this point. Like it's great." Problem with the one that I have, which is of Star Wars, it only goes up to 2010, which is fine. That's when I was well. I say I say that retrospectively. I say that yeah, respectively through my brother, right? Because my brother, I look back and I go, oh, retrospectively, I only really did this through my brother, but I experienced a lot. Cause like I believe I was watching a video. yeah, it was a video by Peter Nieder, and he was doing like a Patreon like games I played as a kid, right? And then well, the person who suggested this was like, well, I didn't play this. He's like, they didn't play this, but they watched their brother or their sibling play it, whatever, sister, I don't know, sibling play it, and so it's like that's a big part of gaming. There's that whole like, especially if you're a younger sibling and you have an older sibling, you're watching someone play, like you feel like you've played it too. Like I watched my brother play, um, what was it, 3 or 2 or whatever. I know I watched him play Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword I kind of like dropped off. I didn't really watch him complete. I may have come back and watched him complete the game. Oh, and Majora's Mask. Ah, or did I watch a YouTube Let's Play of that game? I may have watched a YouTube Let's Play of Majora's Mask, so never mind. But I did watch Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I remember that. So yeah, there was like that thing too. So I look at it retrospectively like through other people. So like, oh, through my friend, I watched, I did, I play, I whatever. So like that was a big thing. Like watch or yeah. So like you feel like you experienced it. You know, you feel like you watched, you played it. So you played it. You know, you feel like you played it. You're like, oh yes, I played that game, but you really didn't. You know. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of like, but and that was a good book. I have to say, that's the kind of books. Oh, that's why what I was talking about. Star Wars toys. So like retrospectively, I look back and I go, in retrospect, I didn't really collect Star Wars toys, but I felt like I did because I did it to my brother. My brother loved Star Wars. He was like obsessed. The dude was obsessed. Man, it was crazy. And I just was like, yeah, it's cool. And I watched them back, and I'm like, yeah, no, they're masterpieces of movies, but I don't really care. Like they're not awful, but they're not great. 'Cause I look at lots of franchises and I go, do I like any of these because they're good, or do I like any, or because I like them, or because there's a nostalgia to them, and somebody else liked them, and I was connected to that person, my brother, my best friend, my friend, you know. So, and I come to the conclusion sometimes like don't like I like Pokemon, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Zelda, Mario, Ninja Turtles, Batman, superheroes in general. What else? There's a whole bunch of them. Cars, Transformers, like old cars, Transformers. You know, just like it's all like Lego. Did I care, or did I just like it because somebody else did? So, but yeah. So retrospectively, I look through it. And I'm like, oh yeah, Legos. What is it? And that's the kind of books that I like. Always loves very visually appealing books, strange books, and stuff like catalog type of things, like the history of, not the history like an educational history, but like the Lego history stuff. Like that's cool stuff. I always thought those were like very interesting books to read, and to be honest, they really are. They're really cool. Well, at least from what I remember. And they always come with like a cool like figure, although like little minifigure, like a special minifigure. Although I never got that minifigure because I found it secondhand at a Value Village, Village de Valor. So, oh well. But they were like interesting because I was talking about on a live stream once. I was like, one of the ones that I thought was like not great was Indiana Jones. Like I never got into Indiana Jones. I didn't care. My brother kind of did, but never really did. So, no, like not to the same extent that he did anything else. So I remember just like being like, it's okay. I never really cared for it. Like again, it's another one of those things that I tried to like, and I thought, oh, I might like this, but I didn't care. No, I don't know. There's something about that whole like setup where it's like I don't know. Is like I don't know. It's just a weird retrospective thing to think about. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking like, yeah, it was another one. Yeah, Indiana Jones was another one. So Nerf was another one of those. Like, did I play with it because I whatever or whatever, like because somebody else liked it or because I liked it? And I think I no, I think I liked. I think I did. Um, I think I liked Nerf. Nerf, I think was I don't know something about Nerf. I liked. I don't know because I picked up a Nerf gun fairly recently and went, it's not terrible. I wanted to get back into it, and then I realized, ooh, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can, again, there, and then I think the other problem is I don't, or I only fall into rabbit holes so deep until I go, okay, I don't care. Which is probably some sort of like ADHD type of like, hey, I love this thing until I just don't, until I just don't care anymore. You know, or a big thing is impart all this information into my brain, and then I just don't care. I'm like, oh, great, and I feel like I've experienced that thing, or all this information into my head for said subject for any pick a subject, right? And then just I do it like once, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm good, bye. And I'm just like, and then I think to myself, why did I invest all that time to just kill it? And I baffled. I'm like, I have no idea. Because that's the thing. I wish there was a way that you could like you could say something like, or you could like experience something without having to invest a lot of money. Not the time. The time I'm kind of okay with because everything takes time. Time is time, but it's the money where it's like, oh, you gotta. As I think I said it on a stream once. I was like, there should be like a store or like a service where you can invest a whole bunch of like you can invest like you can pay money, okay, not invest, pay money to experience a thing and to have an experience of this thing or to try this or to try that or to whatever, right? And then just you know, and then you could I mean you could buy it from the store if you want, but you don't have to. You can just be like, okay, I've taken my experience, right? I've done the experience, you know. I don't know, VR or like what else? Film photography or like photography in general, videography, what else? All these like things that would be really expensive to like get into, but you can like have an experience of this thing. See if you like it. See if you want to do it. See if you want to invest all your time into it or money into it. You know what I mean? Like without investing a lot of money, right? So yeah, that would be great. But ooh, okay. So yeah, yeah. So that's the thing, right? So yeah, that's the thing. Like that would be a great like business thing. Probably spend a lot of money upfront cost, but make investors whatever. But yeah, you just like make experiences. Driving a really fast car. Don't have to go and buy a stupidly fast car, but you can like experience that. Like that's a thing. I know that's a thing, but I'm saying things like that. Fly a plane. I don't know. Just like things like that where it's like, oh yeah, like yeah, yeah, yeah. Where you can like experience it, right? Where you don't have to like spend a lot of money. That'd be a great thing. So that you don't have to do the thing where you've you know invested into it, looked into it, done it all, and then just been like bam, and they just don't care after like 3 times. Because this happens to a lot of people. You don't have to be ADHD, but it happens a lot with ADHD people where it's like, oh yeah, I don't care anymore, and I've invested so much, and then you have all these things you have no idea what to do with. That's the other thing. That place would buy back all your like equipment in certain condition, in a certain condition, obviously. It can't be like busted completely, but or just like whatever. But um, they'll buy back your equipment. Okay, you wanted a gaming computer, you wanted a really high end gaming computer, but then 3 years later you bought a laptop, or your work offered you a laptop that you use for work, and you just don't ever use your computer, and you have a phone, and you're good with that, and you're whatever, and then you have this like giant gaming tower that you have no idea what to do with. And of course that uh um is dependent on like, well, how old is the equipment, but yeah, they'll buy it back from you, you know? Because I don't mean renting, right? No, you want to get into a hobby, and you've decided, okay, I like this hobby, I actually want to get into it, but eventually you go, okay, I don't care for this anymore. You just, that's it, none. You say, I don't want it anymore, and then this company comes and buys it back from you. Same company who you like tried it at, you know? Same place that you tried it at, right? So I feel like that's like an interesting investment endeavor, like a business idea, business investment. You could like get into trying to, like, you're showing people, okay, like, if you'd like to try this random hobby, here you go. You can try it, right? You don't have to invest into it if you don't want to, but you can try it. Because that's the other thing too. One or two experiences, and some people are like, I'm done. Like I said, I would do things sometimes, like once or twice or something. I'd be like, hey, I'm good. I don't know. I would invest a lot of whatever. Now, in that situation, with this company, this experience, you would be like, yeah, you can try it. And then if you've got your like fix, you're like, okay, good, done. You know. Or the kind of thing where it's like, I need to make something, but like a maker studio, right? Where, okay, just walk into a maker studio, make the thing you need, and then just leave. I don't need, you know. Because there are those people who will like buy a whole something to do the one thing, and then just that's it. It's like, and then they have all this equipment for whatever. It's like, oh god, they don't want to make it to sell. They don't want to do a bunch of this. No, they don't care though. It's like whatever. So they just wanted that one thing, and that's it. Or like they couldn't find a good, better way to do it. It's like, which is so annoying. I hate that with certain things where it's like, nope, the best way to do it right now, this circumstance is this. It's like, oh god. Like I want to leather bound a book. I want to leather bind a book, but I can't find leather that's good enough for bookbinding, that's cheap enough. And none of these places, there's only one maker studio, and it's not even a maker studio. It's like it's it's it basically it's a maker studio, but it's not called a maker studio, which is weird, but okay. And then they don't do anything with leather. And I asked like, I think I asked 2 different leather like binding places. I don't know. I think one didn't answer me yet, and the other one was like, yeah, no, we do nothing with like binding leather books. It's like, oh, great. I was like, ugh, great. Because the thing, it's like one book once. I might redo another book for myself and then one for my friend. And then that's it. I don't care. Like, gone. Bam. Like, I don't ever need to do this again. I don't want to invest the money, the time, the effort, the energy, anything. I've looked into it. And it actually doesn't seem impossible. My brother thought it would be like a lot of work. And then other people were telling me like on like leather Discord and stuff like that. And I was like, they're saying like, what are you doing? Don't do this. Make like a one of those books, like a sleeve, like a jacket to put over it. I'm like, but I already have that on my Bible, and I don't want that. I want to like leather bind another book, and it's like one book. I'm probably never because I don't care for these like leather books. Like I don't give a hoot at all. So really, it's like, what do I care? I just want to do it on my own to try it for myself, do it on my own book, and then I'll do it on the other book, and then done. My people are telling me, well, it's stupid. What are you doing? I'm like, But I've looked at the video that seems simple on YouTube, and it seems like a simple endeavor. Problem is, where a good leather that I don't want, because I don't want to spend like $50 to $100 on leather. I want to spend like half that. Everyone's like, oh, there's lots of places to get leather up in Canada. Go do this, go do that. Oh yeah, go. Oh yeah, and also just get like a scrap piece for like $20. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. They don't exist. I mean, they do, but they don't exist for me. I can't find them easily. I mean, you ask for help, they look at you like, Google exists, stupid. Use the internet. I'm like, you don't think I've tried that? Freaking idiots. I hate these people. I'm coming to you for two things. One, because you people are weird magicians that find everything on the internet. Or three things. Two, because I've already looked at everything on the internet, right? And I can't find where you people find these things. And three, because I already know that it's not really possible to find, and you people probably know more than these places, or like it's a esoteric thing that I thought. Maybe you people will tell me that otherwise, but I thought uh be couldn't be like I couldn't find. Like, oh, I just already know that it's not easily findable. You know. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So anyway, look, I don't see that's the thing. I'm pretty sure the previous Maker Studio that was actually Maker Studio did do things with leather, but they went out of business because they weren't sustainable. They weren't sustainable, and they went out of business during the pandemic, during COVID. So it's like, ah, man, or coming out of COVID, maybe I don't know. Anyway, I think I looked into them and like they're gone, just long gone. Just like, oh, sad because I think they did touch leather. They did do leather stuff. It's like, but the other place, the Maker Studio that exists or whatever they were calling themselves, they do the vinyl lettering. They do vinyl. They cut vinyl, like the quick cutter, whatever you want to call it. And it like I'm like, oh, so I could like finish my book there, but I couldn't actually do the book. They do nothing with leather. I'm like, oh, that's so annoying. That's just so annoying. I just hate that about it. Like that's the thing. It's one thing. I don't need to. I don't want to invest any money, a lot of money, or any time and effort and equipment into any of this. I'm never gonna make another thing. Cause that's the thing. Oh, well, you're gonna want it. Because the guy in the video was like, oh, you better at the end was like, better watch it because you could end up really getting into this and wanting to do all your books. Like, no, I don't care. I want one book. Two, because I want to try it for myself before I do it on my friend's book that I'm going to give to my friend. That's it. I don't care. And so that's one of those things where it's like, I'd go into like a Michael's, or I'd go into a Fabricville, or I'd go into like a place that is crafts, Joanne's Fabrics, a Hobby Lobby, and just be like, okay, look, or whatever the heck place that sells this kind of stuff, and just offer like, okay, you want to learn how to do it, you want to do it once, here you go, here's the one thing. I don't even care. It's because I found a place that would do like you can learn how to make a leather notebook, but it was like I think $75 for the class, which doesn't seem horrible, but also it's like, what is it for the experience? Like, what am I doing this for? Like, no, I want to learn how to do it, and I'm sure you wouldn't let me just learn how to make because you'd make the leather notebook. You wouldn't be able to like substitute that for the book I want, would I? I don't think so. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I was like, it's just annoying. It's just really annoying. Oh, it's annoying. It's like very annoying. What the heck? That's a perfect example of just no. I love to have a, a somewhere I go and I just do the one thing I want and it'll be done, one time. You know. But no, these things don't really exist. Maker studios do, but like I'm nowhere close to a good maker studio. Or like I know libraries are getting into like that whole thing of like renting out tools or renting out like things or renting out like you go in there you do like a basically becomes a maker studio like but you can take them out too like materials and stuff like that like yeah it's a pretty cool thing but it's just that my libraries don't do that and I don't know. I just wish a place existed and it's like for specifically one leather thing. It's like oh my god. Well, there's that, and then I want to make like a walking stick slash cane looking thing. 'Cause I have the top of, I have like a duck swan goose-looking head, right? Handle for like a, I think it's brass, but it might just be like a minuscule amount of lead in it. Cause I asked somewhere on a metalworking subreddit, and they were like, it's probably mostly brass, but even there, a lot of brass, almost all brass, like a lot of brass is has a trace amount of like lead in it, a small amount of lead in it. He's like, it's fine. It's not poisonous. It's not gonna kill you if you handle it. I wouldn't grind it into my coffee and drink it, but I wouldn't snort it, But yeah, so I want to make a walking stick, but I don't 100% know how to do it. It's probably not as hard as I think. I just need the wood, and and there's probably some like first technique or one part of the technique I need to learn, and then that's just it. And I could probably like whatever. It's like I don't. It's really, it's really annoying, right? It's really annoying. But anyway, because it's like I just want one. It's not like it's. It's like I want to make a business out of this. It's not like I want to get into leather. Or I'd love a place to like try something like that and be like, hey, would I want to get into leather? Be great, cool, sell them, make them, whatever. No, no, of course not. No, because I'd leather bind people. Look, okay, I'd leather bound people's Bibles if they would be willing to pay me. If you're willing to pay like $100, okay, for a leather bound or like $75 for a leather bound Bible, right? I make with the leather that I found, which is the best one so far. It was about I think it's $39. I think it's $39. I think it's US, so it's gonna be like 52 or 53 or something like that, plus shipping, and so it's probably more expensive than I would like to pay. But I could, make $20, $30 off, $40 off each book, $50 on each book, and it'd be great. Like it'd be so like, you know, I'd do it. It'd be so cool. Although I don't know if people would actually want that, because a lot of people aren't like posh like that. Like, oh, they don't like see it as like a big thing. They just like, and then there's those people who just they don't even have a physical Bible, or they just grab whatever Bible that they find, and they're like, oh, I don't care, it's good. Which they're following that thing of like, well, you've got to stick with a translation for at least a little bit, right? Now, I don't think, you know, read through of the whole Bible is 100% necessary, but like, you can't jump unless you're doing like a study and you're like trying to study different versions. Okay, okay, there's this version and that version and this version and that version, and I gotta try this, and I want to know what it's gonna say through this translation, and then also through this translation, and I'll do these three translations and like read them all and see what the differences are and all. But yeah, stick with one for a little bit. So anyway, but yeah, I would. Yeah, I would love the binds. The problem is I haven't tried this yet, so I don't even know if I'm gonna like completely screw it up or what. Like, and then I'm gonna have a bunch of offcuts of leather, and I'm gonna be like, what am I supposed to do with all these offcuts of leather? It's gonna be really annoying. It's gonna be just really annoying. It's gonna be really annoying. I'm gonna be like, oh. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's one thing. I just like that is like one of the perfect like um situation circumstances of like that's what I would love that kind of a like business to have like for one of those. I just want to make one. I don't care or like see if I would actually want to do something like that. It's just it's just annoying because that's the other problem here too. Is like you go somewhere else in the world, and all of these things that I've always wanted to do, oh, they exist. They're everywhere, but just not here. Just not right here, right now. Not here, right now. No, no. It's annoying. Go to other parts of Canada. Go to the U.S. Go to Europe. Go to other places. Done. These things exist everywhere, right? And the prices are like, oh, and when they do exist here, the prices are stupid. Oh yeah, that thing does exist here, but it's a freaking bajillion dollars because why? It's Canada or it's Quebec. It's like, why? But what? Oh my god, so stupid. I hate it. I just hate it. I I think it's dumb. Or it's like, oh, I found the thing I want, but it's gonna be $5 billion to ship it here. Why, dude? We're only behind. No, maybe not, but we're at like the only place that I've heard is worse than Canada. Now it's probably places worse than that too, depending on where you're coming from, right? Where it's coming from, the object coming from, but like Australia. For some reason, shipping to Australia is stupid. Why? I don't know. You want to know something really dumb? Okay, I can ship something to Germany or to Japan or to like Africa or to, you know, those kind of places, right? To any of those kind of places, right? And it'd be cheaper than shipping it within Canada. My dad tried to explain to me what he ascertained from the post office as to why that's like that. And I was just like, I don't understand this at all. You're going across the world. You're going literally on the other side of the world, right? Right? Right. But going in the same country is more expensive. I don't understand that. I should ask somebody. I should ask my friend works at, or I know a guy who works at Canada Post, so I should ask him one day. Do you know why it's more expensive to ship it within Canada? He probably doesn't know, but there probably is some reason. There is a reason because my dad tried to explain to me, but like, I want to know what he thinks anyway, or he knows of it anyway. Yeah. So yeah, it's like, whatever. It's dumb. Look, in my opinion, that's exactly the like use case for that kind of service or opportunity or company or whatever you want to call it. You know, it's the whole I want to do one thing like 3D printers, right? You're never going to need to 3D print every day, or most people aren't going to need to 3D. A lot of people aren't going to need to 3D print every day. But you know, 1 or 2 times a year, or 3 times a year, oh, this thing broke. Can I 3D print it and attach it? You know, or fix this piece, or get this piece, or whatever. Yeah, that's the other thing. Maker Studios. It exists everywhere else, but not here. There's one, and it's not a Maker Studio, really, and so it doesn't do leather. I'm like, oh, dumb. I believe it has a 3D printer. I believe it has a 3D printer, yes. But you have, and then the other stupid thing about that, too, is it's a membership thing, so it's like, I think it said $45 a month or something, and I was like, oh, jeez. Canadian. $45 Canadian a month. And I was like, oh, man. Am I going to get that $45 worth of use out of it? Of course not. That's a stupid other thing. I want to be able to. I would love to like walk into one of those places and be like, "Can I just do one project? Can I just cut one thing, please?" I wish I just knew somebody with a Cricut cutter that I could just use once. Like maybe it's 2, 3 cuts, but it's like one thing. It's so annoying because it's like I wish I had. I wish I knew a lot more people in those kind of places where I could be like, yeah, you have a Cricut cutter? Can I just use it once? Thank you, bye. I remember tried looking at places like you know like Kijijis and Facebook marketplaces to like or the like classified places like the Craigslist kind of places where it's like, is there with the classifieds where they like where you want a service, right? Or like can I borrow this or can I use this, or if you have one of these, that exists. That might exist on Kijiji, yeah, or like Facebook Marketplace kind of thing. I don't know. I'd make a post on it asking like, hey, if anybody has a crack cutter, Cricut cutter, or whatever, can I use it to cut vinyl? Just the other problem is I'd have to buy the vinyl myself, and then I need a freaking roll. I have a freaking roll of vinyl because like the upfront $45 might save me in the long run because I don't have a thing of vinyl and just existentially dreading keeping it for a billion years, right? Or having someone scream at me, why do we still have this stupid vinyl? You cut like a foot of it maybe. And it's a roll of whatever, a billion miles, right? Billion kilometers of it, billion years of it, billion light years of it. Frig, man. Oh, God. So, yeah. That's the other problem. I don't know what the minimum vinyl is, because I was looking at different places, and, like, certain minimums were, like, 5 feet of it for, like, like, a leather. I'll look at the leather. Like, 5 feet of it, or, like, 7 to 10 feet of it, or, like, oh my God, I don't need this. I'm never going to need this much. But the problem was, I couldn't find anywhere that was doing better. Anyway, in my opinion, that's where I would love to have it. That's why the $45 may be a better upfront investment one time to mentally never have to, like, worry about, I don't know. Because, like, can I just get, like, a foot of 2 feet of vinyl? Right? And then just find somebody who has a Cricut cutter or vinyl cutter kind of stuff? Like, I don't know. It's annoying. In my opinion, it's annoying. It's really annoying. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. So I feel like I could do this thing, but it would cost me $1 billion. Oh, God, stupid. Especially to a farm that I could just, like, hey, do you sell leather off your cows? Oh, it'd be so cool. Or your sheep, or your whatever. It's annoying to me, but whatever. Look, I'm not gonna, crap all over it. It's not that bad. I mean, it's yeah, yeah. So, oh, God, it's just annoying. But anyway, so yeah. Look, I'm not saying that I couldn't do this. I'm just saying it's just gonna either cost me a lot, or it's gonna take me, like, friggin' forever to, like. Anyway, just dumb. Because they used to have okay, Upper Canada Village used to have a something called, I don't know if they did this once or regularly, because I never went back to it ever again. But they had something called the Wood Lovers Festival, which had a section for, like, leather work. And I would have loved to go there and just been like, hey, can I buy leather off of you? To bind the book. Stupid. It's dumb. Look, I don't care. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh, whatever. Look, I think it's annoying. It's annoying in my opinion. But although at the time I didn't care. It was a cool thing to look at, like, to go to and be like, oh, that's so cool. I've heard of leather, like leather, whatever. But, like, no. That's the other stupid thing. I will do these little experiences where we're like, oh, I did that 10 years ago. But it would have been great if I had this kind of mentality 10 years ago when I wanted to. Now that I want, it's annoying, but okay. I'm gonna finish now because I don't want to go for an hour. I'm just gonna finish it right now. I'm gonna end right now. Um, hey! If any of you know good places to get leather, cheap leather, like a $20 piece of cheap leather, $20 Canadian or less, $20 or less, for bookbinding. It'd be great. Or if you're local within Quebec and you have a Cricut cutter or you have leather or you know a farm or that sells leather or whatever, right? I didn't really look into that actually, really too hard. I did very, like, light research into, like, where can you get leather, and that's it. So I didn't really get any. Anyway, but yeah, if you have any other stuff, please let me know because I would love to do that. Love to, please. Like, I'd love to. So yeah, I'd love to like make that. It'd be great. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. In the description, right, of this podcast, there is the ways to contact me. If you'd like to get in contact with me, there's the email tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There's the 2 Discord servers, and there's the and then if you want to contribute, there's a Patreon. Patreon.com/wingwong. So the W's, both W's are capitalized in wingwong. The rest are not capitalized. The rest are letters. So yeah, um, yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. Again, if you got leather, if you know leather, if you got good cheap leather that's for bookbinding, please let me know. And oh, I don't know actually, cause like, well, the thing with I'm gonna say one thing before I leave. The thing with a Cricut cutter though is I would use it to make stickers. I would definitely use it 100% to make stickers. Like, oh, I bought stickers from a guy twice. Okay, twice. I don't know what happened. Oh, that's what I should ask. That's what I should ask. Yeah. Nah, maybe you probably wouldn't know, but still. But it was like I bought stickers from this guy twice, and neither of them came through the mail ever. Gone. Never got them. They never came to me. Never got them. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'd make stickers. Would I sell stickers? I don't know, but I would make stickers. Sorry, make stickers. I make stickers with a Cricut cutter. Would it be worth the investment? Probably not. No, knowing me, probably not. But whatever, right? I would definitely make them though. Yeah. And apparently, you can cut leather with a Cricut cutter if you have the right cutters. I don't know. I watched a short circuit video on it once. Yvonne was doing a thing on the Cricut cutter. Anyway, which actually was really interesting. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Although they're like $400, $500, so it's like, what? Anyway, but yeah, I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos.